Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Veda and this is The Simple Budget. Here on my channel I show you how my family is using the zero-based budgeting method in order to maintain a simplified financial life. If that sounds like content that you're interested in, I would love it if you would hit the subscribe button and join our little crew here. With that being said, let's get into today's video. All right, well, hello everyone and happy Saturday. I know that I don't usually post my weekly check-in on the weekend, but I thought since I posted my cash stuffing on Thursday, which was also unplanned, that I would just push back my day of my weekly check-in just to give a little bit of time in between content. And also, I am coming to you from a spot where I'm not usually filming. I am usually filming in my dining room because I like the light better in there, and I don't like ring lights or overhead lighting, and so I prefer natural daytime lighting. But my daughter has a friend over, and while I would usually just kick them out and make them play outside because I think outside play is better anyway, the friend has a back brace, and so she has to keep her play low key today, and so they are playing together inside. And so my dining room is very open, and I don't want to film when they're like not running through the house, but just kind of moving back and forth through the house. So I do apologize because the lighting is a little bit low in here, but again, I prefer natural light to overhead light. And so we're just going to work with what we have. So now that I've gotten all of that out of the way, today is the weekly check-in. So if you're new around here, what this video is just me reconciling any non-cash purchase from the last week where that comes from a category that we cash stuff for. So since we're about 50-50 cash and digital, we have to make sure that, especially with our cash stuffed categories, that whenever we make a purchase from them, we return that money to the bank, so we're not overdrawing our account and that sort of thing. But it also really helps to make sure that we're staying in budget as well. So it's like a multifaceted, multi-purposed kind of reason why we do this video. If I'm just going to jump in here really quickly. So we had family visit in just about, what was it, last weekend? And so we had to make some special dispensations for family coming into town. We increased our grocery budget, we increased our family fund budget, and we decreased what we were putting toward our emergency fund this month. And you'll see this as we get into the video and the expense tracking. All of our grocery purchases are actually sort of already accounted for. We're not going to be returning that money to the bank. So while I am acknowledging that the purchase exists, that was mostly just for our own personal accounting purposes. Hopefully that is the only disruption that we have today, but you never know. I think I was explaining to you guys basically like all of the grocery purchases that you're going to see today in today's expense tracking. I'm not paying that money back to the bank. We've already reconciled all of that. And that was part of having family come into town. But I'm going to go ahead and grab my budget planner here. There we go. And I'm going to jump. Actually, I need to move this stuff out of the way. I'm in tighter quarters too. So, by the by, just as an aside, I make the dashboards, the budget planner that you see here. Everything is linked in my Etsy shop, which is always linked below in my description box. So if you are interested in any budget goodies, go ahead and give my shop a look. But let's pop back to October. I'm going to go ahead and pull out the expense tracking pages so that we can narrow down our efforts and get that all taken care of. So I'm going to zoom you guys in, and then we will get into the expense tracking. Alrighty, here we are. So I'm just going to jump right in. We do have a few more expenses to track this week than is usual for us, so it might take a little bit longer, and I don't want to hold anybody here longer than absolutely necessary. So let's just jump right in. First up, on the 10th, we had a Starbucks purchase for $10. This was just me reloading my Starbucks card. And then I took my daughter for like a little Starbucks date because she was a little bit bummed. My son had like a movie night at school, and I told her that we could do something fun, just she and I. And so I took her to Starbucks. And so that's why I had to reload my card, and I'll just be paying $10 back to the bank. Next up, we have my classic Target purchase, and this is always broken down into multiple categories, but I like to showcase these two because I think it's really nice for people to be able to see, like, even first of all, how important it is that you save your receipts so that you can make sure that you're going over each purchase that you made at one place, especially when you have a situation like this where the purchase may cover several categories within your budget. So that is this is like multiple categories. And so I'll show you how we do that. So the total purchase was $59.73. Oh, here we go. It actually there's 4 different categories. So first up was Halloween. I just supplemented the Halloween candy that I purchased a little bit because I felt like maybe I might need a little bit more, but I always have this issue where I'm always like, we don't have enough candy. And then we have like gallons of candy left over afterward. So I may end up regretting this, but either way, we had the money in Halloween for it. So it was totally fine. So the purchase was that broke down to $12. I'll be returning $12 to the bank. The grocery purchase was $16. I am not actually returning this money to the bank, so I might just go ahead and put a line through this all together. My husband and I reconciled all of this, and so I know how much grocery money I have to pull for the rest of the month. We did this, like I mentioned, we went over on groceries a little bit just because we had family in town, but we budgeted for that, so this was money that we just kind of had sitting in our checking account, so it's not really something I have to pay back to the bank. But it does help me to know the breakdown so that I am still reconciling and keeping those accounts or categories accountable. So anyways, let's move on to the next page here. And I'll just move this down. There we go. And so then we had $15.73 of it was household goods, and I'll be returning $16 to the bank. And then $16 of it was toiletries, and I will be returning $16 to the bank. So that's how we handle multiple categories within one purchase. It's super duper important to save your receipts. And actually, I never really talk about receipts in these videos, but it's also nice to save them if you use cashback apps. I have a variety of them listed in my description box, and I have referral codes for them. So if you use my referral code, I will get bonus points. You will too. And then if you refer anybody, you get bonus points as well. But that's another reason why I save my receipts, because eventually that stuff adds up and then you can trade it in for gift cards or cash. It just depends on which app you're using, but that's another reason to save receipts. But even if you're only saving them for your own personal accounting, it's definitely recommended and highly worth it because of purchases like this, where you may be purchasing multiple different categories in one purchase. And so that you don't overwhelm yourself and try to remember what was what, just save your receipt. It makes it easier. Next up, like I said, we have a variety of grocery purchases here, and I'm just going to cross through these, but we went to Sprouts. We spent $88.80, and it was so funny because my husband went on one of these trips to Sprouts. There are a couple here, and he came home and he was absolutely furious at the cost of stuff at Sprouts. And I was like, oh, I know. It's not my first choice for grocery shopping, but it is the cleanest, or it's the grocery store closest to us that carries the cleanest products. So if for whatever reason I happen to forget something grocery shopping, or in the case of this where we needed to supplement what we had purchased when his family was in town, it is where I go. But he is absolutely right. Their prices are infuriating. It's so ridiculous that I can get cheaper, clean food at Whole Foods. So who saw that coming? Next up, another Sprouts grocery purchase. It was $12.98. And again, I will not be returning this money to the bank because it has all already been reconciled. Next up was Amazon. I don't even remember I do. I purchased some cleaning gloves. These are my favorite cleaning gloves. And because somebody mentioned, I was saying how I thought that I was allergic to latex because my hands were breaking out. It wasn't the latex. It's the powder inside of the gloves. And several of you mentioned that in the comments whenever I talked about this like last winter. And so I have since found a Korean brand that makes like just rubber cleaning gloves. And they are my absolute favorites, and I ripped a hole in one of them by cleaning the blade of my blender. So I needed to have some backup pairs on hand too, just in case. I'll go ahead and leave them linked for you below. I absolutely love them. They are So, so good. They don't break out my hands. They're made in Korea, which is also a plus because anything that's not made in China is my favorite. But you can get them on Amazon, so they'll show up to your house in a couple days. I will say this, and I've mentioned this before when I've talked about these cleaning gloves. Because they're made in Korea, they are made with Korean people in mind, and they tend to be a little bit smaller than Americans. And so I would just recommend that you size up. Like in American, whenever I purchase cleaning or used to purchase cleaning gloves in like Target or whatever, I could get away with like a small or a medium. I'm absolutely a large in these gloves. So now I am larger than your average woman. I'm 5'10" and my hands are kind of big. But just know that going into it, like if you're a small here, maybe get a medium in these gloves, but I cannot recommend them to you enough. They have no idea exist. This is not sponsored. I just really love these cleaning gloves. So anyway, I purchased them for $16.23 and I'll be returning $16 to the bank. Next up, another Sprouts grocery purchase. Again, we were just like supplementing groceries like crazy people when his parents were here. And so that was what this was, $20.90, and we whittled it down to $20. Next up was Target, and this was just one of those trips where I just only needed to pick up some groceries. They carry a couple things that I still like to buy from them from time to time, and so I popped in there to grab some. It was $27.41, and we'll be returning $27 to the bank. Oh, next up, okay, so this is a purchase for me. I wanted some just sort of like basic baby tees. Every now and then, you want like a basic boxy tee or a basic just t-shirt, but I wanted something that was a little bit slimmer to go under cardigans mostly, because a cardigan is sort of like a bulky piece of clothing anyway. And so whatever you want to wear underneath of it, I like balance. And so if you're wearing a bulky piece, I like, if you are layering, I like the piece underneath of it to be a little bit less bulky, if that makes sense. So, and Abercrombie, I like for basics. It just depends on what's available at the time, and they had the best ones there. So I just got a black t-shirt and a white t-shirt. It was $53.58, and I'll be returning $54 to the bank. This is a good time to tell you guys about the virtual coin jar. So, what we do when we have a purchase like this, more often than not, we like to round up the money that we return to the bank. I know it's hard to tell here because I like scribbled through it, but I'm returning. Oh no, wait, I think Mr. Simple said that I could return 53. He did. Typically we round up. And then my husband tracks that change overage in a spreadsheet that he keeps. And so, that money kind of builds up and it serves as like a miscellaneous expense buffer, or just like, that's really what it is, like a miscellaneous expense buffer that we keep in our checking account, and we'll throw it at stuff like this every now and then. So in this case, we're actually pulling from the coin jar this 58 cents because we had an abundance of change available there. So that's how we handle that. But more often than not, you'll see us round up, not round down. Like up here, this household purchase was $15.73, and I'm returning 16 to the bank. So moving right along, in Target, this was actually not even like a real purchase, and I'll explain in a minute. So whenever my in-laws come into town, they like to take my kids to the toy store, or in this case, Target. Target has the most robust toy store, I think, unless you are shopping small, which I definitely recommend if you ever get a chance. But I don't know of any like individual small mom pop shop toy stores around here. So we take them to Target. They like to buy them gifts. And the last time they did it, it was after Christmas. And it was like right after Christmas, and everything was so picked over. So this year they were like, we're not even going to go at Christmas time. Let's just take them now, and they can get whatever they want for Christmas now. So that's what they did. But they both forgot their wallet when we were at the store. So the total purchase came to $61.70. So I used my Target card, and then they paid me back $62. And so I have that in the gifts envelope now in my cash binders. And so I'll just return that money to the bank. Next up was a toiletries purchase. So I'm going to tell you guys about this one if you're a person who is looking for clean alternatives to everyday products. There's a company that I started following called like Van Man, I think. Again, they have no idea that I exist. They don't know about my account. This is not sponsored. I just have been looking into their products, and I'm definitely intrigued by what they put in the market. So they sell instead of like toothpaste, they sell a tooth powder that's got all kinds of really good ingredients in it for your teeth, for strengthening and strengthening your gums and all that kind of stuff too. So I'm trying that out. And then I also purchased a 3-pack of their beeswax lip balms because Burt's Bees no longer utilizes the ingredients that made them popular. A different like large food company purchased them and then took out all of the ingredients, the good ingredients that Burt's Bees used to use in their chapsticks and their balms. So that's why I wanted to look into these guys, because they actually use beeswax and real peppermint oil and all that kind of stuff. So I'll let you guys know if I like it. They should be coming in the mail soon. So I'm looking forward to that. And especially the tooth powder, like I was super intrigued by that. And this one has like eggshell and like coconut oil in it and all that kind of stuff. So I'm curious to see how it works and how it brushes. So we'll update. Next up, another Target purchase. This one was $31.54, and we broke it down into a couple different purchases. So we had $10 for home maintenance, and then we had $21.54 for grocery, which is again not being returned to the bank, so I can just cross that out and I don't even have to factor it into my decisions here. I think this is last up for the day. Mr. Simple went out to lunch with his coworkers. We used to have like a work food envelope, but we have since decided that any kind of eating out food is something that we can each pay for from our own personal spending. And so that's what he did this day. He went somewhere that's like a small individual place, and I never like to release those names out just because privacy and safety and all that kind of stuff. So it was $15.69, and we're returning $16 to the bank for that one. So that's gonna do it. So I'm gonna zoom you guys back out, and then we will actually get into the unstuffing portion of the video. All right, you guys. So what I do from this point going forward, I just go ahead and add up all of the money that I am expecting to have at the end of this so that I can be sure that I've made no errors and no accounting issues. If you've been here long enough, you know that I am more than capable of making many errors. So we like to double and triple check our work here. So I'm going to zoom you guys through this. Nobody wants to watch me use a calculator, but when I'm done adding it all up, we will get into the unstuffing. All right, so we have a very low $270 to expect to have at the end of this. So that's nice. I mean, we definitely spent a lot on groceries, but again, we had earmarked money for extra groceries and extra family fund money. So this is definitely not something that, like we planned for this, which is a good thing to do. So I'm going to just move my calculator off to the side here and we will get into the unstuffing. So we had, oh, you know what? I need my cash tray. All right, I'm actually in my office, so grabbing my cash tray is so much easier than if I'm not in my office. Here we go. So where did we start? Okay, family fun. Well, maybe, let me see if I have any. You know what? I'll start in high priority first since it's always on the top. So I'm going to go right in here to household. Let me just make sure. Oh, okay. So 16. Okay, so I'm returning 32 from household. There we go. So 20, oh no way. 20, 32. And that leaves me with 25 in household. I do apologize for the lighting in here. I am at the mercy of the sun. It's actually not even the evening. It's very, very, very early afternoon. And this is just, my office doesn't get a lot of natural light. So, okay, so I said 25 left in household. There we go. 25. And I will just check off that I have reconciled those purchases. Okay. Next up, I'm going to grab into toiletries, and I think, what do we say? I can't do that math. 32 plus 16. So that's 48 from toiletries. 20, 40, 45, 46, 47, 48. And remaining, we've got $12. Man, we can deplete an envelope, can't we? All right, so $12 left in toiletries. All right, and let me just, there we go. Oh, I forgot to put a line through that. Okay. Oh, and I also forgot to I wonder if I added that. Since I forgot to cross out this groceries. Oh no. I said 270, but if I usually write that down. I'm usually better about that. You guys are probably screaming at me. If I'm 27 shy of this, we'll know why. Because I think I might have added this in with the 270 and I shouldn't have. So anyways, let's stick inside. Where are we? We're still in high priority, and home maintenance is all that is left in here. It's $10. There we go. Home maintenance. And I have a 10. Perfect. So remaining, we've got 50, 60, 75, and 76. All right, and I think that's going to do it for high priority sinking funds. So we can just move right down into low priority sinking funds. And we may as well just grab this family fund that's right here. So $10. Oops. Where? Oh, there. I was really struggling to remember where family fun was. Okay. Oh, perfect. Okay, good. $10, and we've got 51 left in family fun. All right, and then let's go move on this side. I know we have hers and his. I think that's all that's left on this one. Yeah. Okay, so hers, I'm paying back 53. 20, 40, 50. 1, 2, 3. All right, and remaining in hers, we've got 10, 25, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, and 43. All right, let's go ahead and grab the 16 from my hubby's spending. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So he's got $9 left in here. We still have some money in our checking account that is his as well, because we took out the placeholder and he actually made the purchase for the item that he'd been saving for. We just have to reconcile that to figure out how much is left and then go from there. So he's got more than $9. Oh, no, wait. Yeah. Okay. And then let's see. I think we're in holiday sinking funds. That's all that's left is holiday. So since we're right here, I'm just going to grab the gifts money. That was $62. So 20, 40, 62. And that leaves us with 10, 15, 25, 26, 27, 28, and $29 in gifts. Oh, I clicked off my pen. 29, and then I think, yeah, we've just got the Halloween purchase that's left. So $12 from Halloween. There we go. 10, 11, and 12. So that leaves us with $5, $6, $7 in Halloween, which we will use because we're going to take the kids to like a pumpkin patch. So we'll use the rest of the Halloween money for that. What did I say, 7? I think that's what I said. And I think that's going to do it for everything. So if I am $27 shy of $270, we will know why. So let's give her a count. All right, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 40, 60, 70, 80, 90, 200, 10, 25, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, and 43. Yep. So 243 minus 270 is $27. So that's what it was. I just added in that grocery money by accident, which I should not have done. But that is going to do it for me for today, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope that you enjoyed it. And if you did, I would love it so much if you would give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment down below saying hi. And I hope that you enjoy the rest of your weekend. And Mr. Simple and I will be back here with you on Monday with a cash stuffing. So until then, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I will see you on Monday. Bye, everyone.